Latif. Zakri Abdul Latif. Fabian Guni.
So, as we get underway with our second tie, or just the prelims of it, we're introduced to our two clubs, Muar City and Cheras Family Club. This should also be a very, very interesting tie indeed, as it will prove whether Muar City really have got everything that they need. Of course, currently in first with that plus 21 game difference against Cheras, who in 8th with a -7 games difference. And these are the players that have delivered it. Well, we're all about ready for our second tie. My name is Stephen Sovernal, and sitting next to me in the commentary box we have Donald Spears. Very happy to have Donald Spears, a player himself. And that there, Donald, is Dr. Jack Coe. Of course, you know him. He's the vision behind the entire Kopiko Purple League, and I'm so fond of saying that he's always here, pretty much everywhere. He'll definitely come and check in the commentary box as well. Very hands-on. And it's been taking about a year for him to get this vision up and running. That is the team sheets for today. Lee Hyun-il against Ahmed Hafiz Hashim. That's going to be a very interesting match. Second women's singles. That's going to be a very interesting match. Both the big guns played up immediately. And then have a look at that. Hafiz Hashim, the captain, and Zakri Latif against Ma Ki-shun and Tan Bin Chen. And I think now we are just about to hear from both managers.
Arena floor with the two managers. Let's speak to Muar City BC manager Jason Wong right now. You've had a replacement for your women's singles due to injury. Do you still feel confident they can have a straight 6 win today?
I think we treat every match with respect. They have some good players around, so we try our best for every match.
Now the big question is, you guys are at the top of the table. Do your players feel the pressure to perform because they are at the top of the table right now?
I think we need to be very, very mentally prepared, because I mean all the teams are chasing us. So I think there's a little bit pressure on us. Yes.
Thank you so much, Jason Wong, team manager of Muar City BC. Right now it's Cheras BC's time. Reza Hussein, how do you feel? The quick question is, Cheras BC currently right now at the bottom half of the table, not bottom half of the table. What needs to be done, and have you guys done it that you can have a win today?
Well, I think today is going to be a very big match. In fact, we're going top of the league. But I think we are confident that we need to catch up on our games. Everyone's got to be focused. But, of course, I make sure everyone has fun today as well. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about threats in your team. Who is guaranteed, with all the respect to Muar City, but who do you think is guaranteed to get you a win today from your side?
All 9 of them.
Oh, really? Okay, I like that. I like that. A lot of respect between the two. Shake hands one more time, team managers, and we'll start this out. Over to you in the commentary box.
Well, that's some pretty gutsy words from it. All 9 members expected to deliver something. I'm sure he's saying something, not specifically wins. But Muar City have already proved over 2 ties that wasn't a fluke the first time out. And look at this, to kick it all off, Lee Hyun-il. Now, this time, I'm not going to go out and say that Lee Hyun-il is going to win this 3-love. Because the last time I said that, he didn't. But what you are going to see is a very, very ordered game of badminton. Mohammad Hafiz Hashim knows his game. He's tall. He's got a very good smash. And a good all-round player. And Lee Hyun-il is essentially an icon in Korean badminton who's played in 2 Olympics. He actually retired in 2008. Was asked to come back by the Korean Badminton Federation because they had no singles players. And his game, when it's on, is inch perfect. And he managed to get through. He was one of the stars, as I said earlier, that was shocked with the warm-up in his last match. So perhaps he'll start a little bit fresher now. But of course, his opponent is the kind of opponent that he would be facing at any BWF event, at the Super Series, at the All England perhaps. The quality of this match here now is going to be a great example for all the kids and everybody watching at home, because these are 2 players that know the game. And of course, with Hafiz's height difference, you're going to expect a lot of jump smashes as his advantage, I would have thought.
Yeah, we're hoping it's going to be a very close game here, and it will be interesting to see how they cope, as you say, to the early start conditions. I mean, it's quite cool in this hall. And as you say, you lose a couple of points, and then the momentum goes against you, and before you know it, you're a game down. So, but both of these players now know what they're up against. So it'll be interesting to see how they try and really cement an early advantage in the first game, to just put a marker down and say, look, I'm here to win. You can't muscle me.
Yeah. So this definitely could be 5-game match, if of course both are on form. Hafiz Hashim recently has been firing away for Cheras. Stephen Ong in the umpire's chair. I can see Mohammed Ezad in the service judge chair. There he is. So either of these players will really step it up. As I said, this matchup could be on any team sheet for any badminton tournament at any level, because they are both international stars in their own right. Probably a little bit easier for Mohammad Hafiz Hashim, of course, being Malaysian. Lee Hyun-il, not that he hasn't played around the world, but of course that whole aspect of getting into the league is still the 3rd tie. But he has such a solid game, and he plays it at such a beautiful pace as well.
And it's just little things like having your favorite foods available, and knowing where you can buy things around the corner shop, whatever, just to get your preparation and feel comfortable about walking on the court.
And let's not forget, I mean, you guys at home can hear this as well. The noise level within this arena is something that most badminton players haven't had to deal with when they move into a tournament. I compared it in the first week with Andre Agassi going to Wimbledon. And before he went to Wimbledon, he was all wearing the bright colors and said, no, you can't, you have to wear white. There was a bit of uproar for it. He did come out wearing white in the end. Well, not here. Here, the arena has just lit up. It's explosive, it's noisy, it's loud, it's colorful. And even for the big players, obviously for the young players, it's supposed to develop that mental focus and strength. For the older, experienced players, well, they've just never played in it before. All they're used to hearing is the umpire's voice. That's it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. A close atmosphere really gets the adrenaline pumping for the audience as well as the players.
Exactly. That's why I do urge everyone watching at home. Yes, you have got HD coverage on Astro Supersport, Astro Arena, and Astro on the Go. But listen to that. You should get yourself down to the sports arena, Sentosa, the official tournament venue. And as I say, get on to www.ibookcourt.com. Tickets are free, no excuse. So, on we go with what could be a fantastic first match.
Look at that. Just plucked out the air, drilled it down. Very, very powerful in the wrist.
They will be, as all the great players do, working off inches and working off tiny, tiny spots on the court that they aim for, because they know that their opponent is just as skilled in court coverage and defending. And of course, with someone the size of Hafiz Hashim, it's even harder to pick those spots. He's like the Zlatan Ibrahimovic of badminton players, I suppose you could say.
There we are, yeah.
Actually, you know what? I can take that back. I've seen Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and he's huge. He's even bigger than Hafiz Hashim.
It's a little half jump that all he needs to get on top of the shuttle, and he puts it in the corner.
That is one of his trademarks. Works so well for him. There you go again.
There we are, yeah.
It's also the angle is so acute as well.
Lee's going to learn pretty quickly not to do that.
Well, Hyunil has got a lot of variations through his game. I'm expecting him to start putting it a little bit lower over the net. There you go. Definitely downward angled shots, but he's opening it up with those lifts.
3 in a row, same place. There's just no answer to that.
Same lift, same jump, same smash, no answer. So an important 5-1 lead. Now maybe that smash is going to be enough to differentiate these two stars. But as I said, don't count out Hyunil. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Oh, he's caught that one. It's that versatility and variation you were talking about that we saw with Kwan and Tae earlier.
Yeah.
Well, Hyunil can change his game.
Just a tiny deception there on the lift to the back was enough to flat foot him, and he couldn't get the return.
Of course, Hafiz Hashim is higher ranked these days. Hyunil's now 34 years old. And I have to say, the type of game that he plays calls for a lot of physical fitness, calls for a lot of court coverage. Look at that.
That's called in.
Well. This men's singles is going to be close, and I can tell you now the women's singles as well, the all-Indonesian affair, is also going to be very close indeed. I was talking about the depth of Indonesian women's singles talent. Well, you're going to see why after this. And I'm going to pull back on my prediction that it might go to 5 if Hafiz Hashim still keeps getting those smashes in and keeps getting that amount of exposure for him, then I think he's always gonna have an edge. Well, Donald, as a player, if you do return behind your back, are you then, shall we say, compromised for your next shot? It's not your expected shot to play, is it?
Well, playing a shot from around the side, around behind is you're struggling. So it's a bit of pot luck if you get it over. Always looks great for the crowd if you manage it. So there's a temptation there.
And through the legs is good as well.
But not an effective strategy, really.
You don't see Lindan trying that. No, I have seen him do a triple head fake once, but no, he wouldn't try behind the back. Well, it looks like Hyunil has found an answer.
Call in
and
again.
That is exactly the same problem that Hyunil was finding in his last match.
Drift in on that side.
But he's never one to make a fuss. He does obviously make his initial protest, but it happened twice to him in his last game. He's done well to come back here, as any star would, any champion. That was a beautiful
cross
shot.
court. We're really seeing two players that know how to put the shot on the right places, and they can get there with precision. So those tiny little drifts are very important.
I said just inches. It's just inches in it. And little nicks like that, and that's where Hafiz's height's going to come in.
Controlled the net. Controlled the net. That's it.
But at least he knows one thing, that if it's a medium-powered smash, Hyunil can now return it from that side. So hopefully he's insulated that weakness. Forced to play the high lift there.
Yeah.
No other shot he could play.
That was coming down. Nothing Hyun could do about that.
It should have come down almost vertical as well. I can't even imagine. I mean, he's what, 6'3", 6'4", at least. So with jumping, 8 foot, at least 8.5 foot coming down. Wow. And power as well. He's got a very good action. He puts a lot into his shoulders.
That's a powerful smash on the back foot.
That's a different kind of smash, totally. And yeah, you're right. It's moving backwards. And that's a great thing for these experienced players. They get to play the youngsters, yes, they get to see the new generation, but then they get to have a good old-fashioned hit around with, you know, one of the old guys as well. And they must love that.
Well,
I mean, obviously, taking off and out of account the actual points and games that need to be won, but definitely playing somebody that's pushing you to your level.
Hyun is still in it. I think I was going to say if they win, they enjoy it, but none of these players like to lose.
True.
They're really very competitive.
I think just like using the full range of their game, which is what we're seeing here, but he is still in it. Oh, that was beautiful. Played to such a tall man. It's kind of a shock that Hafiz didn't see that coming, but it was so well played.
Until the last minute, he had the chance to either drop it or flick it forward. He chose the drop.
So game point to both players. Ironic, how ironic that Lee Hyun-il should take the first game off a high lift smash return.
That's showing a lot of concentration, a lot of will to win, to come back from his position and win that.
Exactly. He was 6-1 down at one point. That's the kind of form that, as I said, seen him go to those Olympics and seen him lead an entire nation of badminton players in his wake. And as I said, when I was commentating at the Jeonju Career Open, I was in Korea, because he turned up for that, and there were a lot of young players there. And I swear, Donald, he got on court, and just to make sure that the next level of Korean player was going to be up to standard, he gave him the runaround for the whole 3 games. It was point to point to point. Kid, 19, 20 years old, running off his feet. That's what you have to do, because you want to make sure that the next person is going to be just as good as you. So he did not ease up on him at all.
Yeah.
Great player, very quiet, very reserved. Just, as I said, you've got the likes of Linda and I said Lee Chong-wei that are just on a different level sometimes. But you've also got these really good, hard-working, soldiering players like Lee Hyun-il that just keep delivering.
Okay, now he's got the angle. Couldn't get a racket on it.
Do you think we're going to see a different strategy from Hafiz now? Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Well, a lot more deception near the net. A lot more trickery. But he was always opening himself up to that pressure.
Definitely, he was playing a softer few points there.
That was a beautiful
Didn't
drop
work
in the
out
middle
that
of
time.
It did work out quite well for Hyun-il, and I think this is the kind of game that will be up for. Oh, he's ready for it that time. And that's in. And when you see experienced players moving maybe 1-2 foot off the center tee to take their shots, both of them completely, really being pushed, because they've just covered the left side, they've covered the right side, so you're only coming down the middle. It saves you energy. But look at that. If you need to turn on the power, you can.
I think Hafiz has definitely changed his approach to this game. He was realizing that he won't be able to win on a smash alone, because actually Hyun's defense is very solid and his anticipation is good as well. So I think we're going to start to see some attempts to move his opponent around the court a bit more.
Well, Hafiz also has this. We just saw
There we
it.
are.
Hafiz also has
Just as I said that, he drills one cross-court off the serve.
Well, he has a devilish drop shot that cross-court, literally, that just skims the net. We saw a brief glimpse of it before in the rally, and he was playing that to perfection in his previous time. Maybe he'll move to the soft game. And of course, by doing that, you will have to get it just right. As Hyunil has figured out your smash. That's it. And it looks like he can play that drop shot from pretty much anywhere, forward to mid-court. No surprise that the Sports Arena Sentosa is now full of people. This a big tie. One to watch, one to savor. And really great to have it happening here. On such a local platform. And there they are.
Intense concentration there on the face of Hafiz.
And he tried that drop again. To be honest, he's better right to left with it. But his body was already in the wrong place, really. Too much on the flick. But with that, he's ahead. Kenil playing a great game here.
Very nice net shot. That's hit the roof.
Wow.
Well, he needed to get it high, and it's a tall roof here. But it was such a good net shot from Hyun that there's nothing really he could do except try and get it up as high as possible.
That's what I was saying. I mean, Hyunil knows that if he is going to leave it high over the net, it's going to be going to the other side of the court. So he still has to stretch for it. But anything that's towards Hafiz is now a few centimeters over the net, if that. And that's why possibly saw that. But again, he changed his game up, and that's what he does so well. I doubt we're going to be seeing him leaving mid-court lifts high in the air, just ready for Hafiz to pounce on, even though he can return them. There we go, crossing a...
Good defense from Hafiz.
It does come down to a variable, versatile game from both of them. And once they realize a certain shot isn't working, they then counter it, they kind of insulate that, and pick a new direction. Great example for the youngsters. What a fantastic backhand flick that was.
I've seen Hafiz has tried that a couple of times. He's trying to surprise his opponent, trying to get a bit of deception on the serve. It didn't work out there. He just kind of half hit the flick serve and easy backhand smash.
Well, I mean, I suppose it's the pros and cons of it. If you go for the smash game, you're going to keep your opponent on the baseline. If you start playing by the net, you will leave yourself open to hook smashes, and perhaps against a younger opponent, they can probably make a lot more unforced errors. But anyway, he's managed to fashion out a lead here. 2-0 with more of the unforced errors. There's another one. Over the 3 ties that I've seen him play now, he has been having trouble finding his range from there, from the service line to net. Just those drops. Everything else seems to be falling into place. Again, he picks up that smash. Wonderful return.
Well left, well left.
If that's going to be the difference between them, then that has to be it. Right now, Hafiz has to find something. That early 6-1 lead seems so far away now that he's a game down. Now, you just worry a bit if he's a bit over-dependent on trying that drop shot cross-court.
He's playing it a lot. He's also seems to be targeting a little bit the backhand side of Hyun.
Skin's just aiming it for the corner. Probably the only strategy you can really take.
It's been effective now. He's got the game point.
Great smash. Again, moving backwards. Can Hafiz just hold this point? He's still got a couple to play with. Don't forget Cheras on a -7 game difference, even with the likes of Hafiz Hashim there.
Well, Hafiz is now losing a bit of concentration, and he's put himself in a tricky situation where he's under pressure. Just relaxed too early maybe, and Hyun's right back in it.
And you know he's going to be moving forward. And that's how a champion gets back into it. He won the first one.
Hafiz will be kicking himself, but Hyun played again such a beautiful net shot. He's had to lift.
You've got no option. Literally, you've got no option. He forces you into an area. There are a couple of weaknesses. I said in that forecourt drop, center.
That's amazing.
That is
unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't even think Hafiz can believe it. After all of that.
The first match today, we saw the tightest net shot of the Purple League so far. Well, now that shot's been replaced by this little exchange. Beautiful.
Finally, that drop works. Let's have a look at it from the side. Look at that.
That is absolute perfection.
Hyunil can't believe it.
Absolute perfection. Unplayable.
He's been trying it all game, and the one that counted worked.
No wonder he's smiling. So he's right back in at 1-all.
But look at that, 11-10, 10-11. Everyone here at the Sports Arena Sentosa is in for a treat. And that's just to kick it off. Now, Donald, the question is, where do you think they can go from here? We've seen Hafiz's power game deconstructed. We've seen Hyunil's net game outfoxed. Now, how are they going to play this?
Well, I think that what's going to happen here is that actually Hafiz is playing and attacking the backhand side of Hyun. Now, it's been working out pretty well, but he knows if he keeps on doing it, then Hyun will get used to it, and it won't be so effective. So I think you'll start to see that continuing, but he'll have to vary it. And Hafiz has got enough experience, enough skills that he can vary it as the match progresses and try something different.
So essentially what you're saying is another 11-10 with a double game point is probably on the cards. So we're not going to complain about that. Not with this level of badminton.
Great shot,
great
smash.
shot.
Half court lift, and Hafiz was there to put it down. Yeah, it's a joy to watch these players because as well as the technical ability, they've still got this incredible will to win. It's a really compelling contest.
You just see Hafiz is putting an extra bit of sting into his smashes as well. And perhaps he's upped his power game. 3-0-3 love down. Don't forget though, he was 10-6 down the last game. He still managed to come back. First game as well. Wow.
Oh, a little smile, a little wave.
Well, that's definitely...
Two experts acknowledging each other there. Very nice to see.
Hyunil hardly ever smiles. He is the Ivan Lendl, I suppose you could say, of badminton. But I think we just saw him break a tiny bit of a grin there because that's sweet revenge in a sense for that game point beforehand. But that was such a beautiful drop.
And then it goes in the net, and that's badminton. You lose a second of concentration and you make a mistake.
I think at that point they were listening to us, Donald. It was always going to come. And it goes for the clear instead. Oh, beautiful shot. It almost looked like it had topspin on it. It actually looked like it dipped.
He was trying to get it down, didn't want the penetration, just wanted the shuttle dead.
And so he's back in it, as we said, 3-4. What a contest. No one's let him down. So 5-3. Pick the spot. If you give him enough height and enough space, that's exactly what he'll do to you. But even Hafiz has to know that he's been further ahead in this match already. And every time he gets ahead, he literally has to be 150% focused, because Hyunil has a number of ways so far, it seems, just to eke his way back. That one's out. Could be these unforced errors that decide this. 4 points. Still not the biggest lead that Hafiz has had. He was 6-1 up, remember? He had 4 game points beforehand. And 1 in the... Oh! I think it's going to be 1 at the net.
He was quick to get on that. Hafiz is a very tall player, but he's light on his feet. He uses his toes. And he's sprung on that one. Hyun did well to get a racket on him, but he couldn't get back over the net.
Extremely nimble for a man his size, has to be said. Deep serve from Hafiz. There's that drop again. This time the hook smash doesn't work. Now, this is the problem. Giving the service back to Hyunil is always a problem. You never know exactly what he's going to do with it. And I'm sure Hafiz would have liked to clean out this game in that service, but see how he defends. That was just inch perfect from Hyunil. He was moving around too much.
Hafiz will be disappointed with that. That was an opportunity there.
There, right there. He had the height to do it.
Awkward angle.
But the right angle picked, that's the thing. And you have to say that based on that drop shot he made in the second game, he could probably make that. I mean, it's not, it wasn't the craziest of ideas, but it was a difficult position to pick it up through. As was that. So, well, what have we got here? Lee Hyunil clawing back. Almost inviting the smash there. That was well read. And he's back in it. Look how quickly he crossed the court to get that. Reflex exchange. Oh, great shot.
Just dies at the net.
That was a great range of shots played by Hyunil. Look at that one first, and then he's just about finding his touches.
Very tight drop shot. Very difficult to read that. Hafiz did well to get there, but he couldn't do anything with it.
And all of a sudden, he was 8-4 up. Now it's 8-all. Beautiful. There weren't very many spots on that side of Hafiz you could aim for. But it's the timing of it, it's the speed of it. He takes the lead. Oh, Hafiz on the defensive. Hyunil's asking all the questions.
Yet again, Hafiz has given away
amazing.
A good lead.
Absolutely amazing.
Or had it taken from him.
I think that's probably more right. There's been some really good guile shown from Hyunil. Good to see that smash still works.
A good, long, deep smash. No chance for Hyun to get that.
What did I say, Donald? 10-all, 11-10 for the third straight game. It's heading that way. And what a spectacle for the fans that is, if it does go that way. Oh, but that might be a bit too high. And that one. Beautifully done. Now Hyunil, we'll just have a word for Lee Hyunil there, because when that shuttle hit the net there, that should have been the kill. Look at how quickly he scampered back to pick up this shot. He should have been cleanly taken, but instead he's won the third 11-9. Muar City looking a force again. They're 2-1 up in this tie. What a match.
Hyun really kept his head there in that last point to win the game.
But it really was also a case of Hafiz just kind of throwing away that 7-10. That he had a very, very good chance there, you know. He's been ahead in this match 3 or 4 times by at least 4 points. And though, of course, he's playing an exceptional player, who's vastly experienced, you should think, I suppose, maybe you should be able to kill those 4-point leads off and make them count. So, he is, of course, the big gun for Cheras. We've still got Febi Angguni coming up after this, but she's going to be playing one of her Indonesian women's singles counterparts in Rustina Antadayu. And of course, it's going to be that fantastic doubles match. Makintan versus Hafizi Hashim and Zaki Latif. This is going to be close. You know, that is the 5th call now that I've seen in Lee Hyunil's games, which were a little bit questionable. Still just a quick look at the referee. And that's about it. Let's have a look at it now. No, it's on the line.
Yeah.
Can't have any argument with that. Nice change of direction from Hyunil. Oh
nice try, nice try.
Nice try. Oh, that did bring a smile to Hyunil's face. It's almost like he was passing the shuttle
Again,
back
some
to
very
him.
tight net play leading to that little exchange. Would have been nice to see him around the back be successful. Not to be.
Hyunil making his intentions felt. He doesn't want to take this to 5. Great net kill on the backhand.
I just sense that Hafiz has been moving very well backwards and forward throughout the match, but maybe that effort is starting to take a bit of toll on him. Hyun is playing that game, and you saw it there in the last 2 points, moving him around the court.
He just seems a little bit more solid at it. He hasn't been caught out of position. And that was a nice return. If he does stand around that area, and of course his height gives him the obvious net kill. So there's a lot of things that Hyunil has to avoid. The high shuttle in front of Hafiz. He has to avoid the medium high shuttle at the net. He has to avoid a great many shots, actually, if you think about it. And he's still managing to strive on ahead and get the points going. And it's good to see him playing at the type of level he was playing in the Career Open recently. To him these days, as I said, it's about training the next generation. That's probably why he's taking part in this Kopiko Purple League.
He's a bit slow to get to that one again. I'm just looking like maybe he's getting tired already. Yeah. So these precise shots are difficult to reach.
And they're getting more precise as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, for the first time, I think, a nice lead. 2 points, that's just gone down to 1. It's hard to see how he's trailing. He's been shooting off in each of these games, racing after 4, 5 point leads at some points, but just not being able to convert them. He was in the right place to pick that up anyway.
Always difficult smashing from the back of the court.
Nice change of direction again from Yunil, but Hafiz seems to be solidifying. He's asking the questions now. He's not being pushed around so much, and he's definitely finding some space. Yunil at least keeping him in one area of the court, because he has been moving around with exceptional speed.
He got his racket on that very fast.
Yeah. Crowd getting into this.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those types of exchanges that both players desperate to control the net, hitting smaller and smaller margins.
Tinier and tinier. In the end, they kind of look like
wins that battle.
A little stare back as well afterwards. Oh, now if that smash isn't working for him, then as predicted, he might be heading for a 5-game match. Which is the exact way we wanted this tie to start. That was a measured backhand drive there. So precise. He wanted to make sure it was very low over the net, because if not, he would have been in the wrong position and literally probably would have felt the shuttle straight into the nape of his neck. Find the corners again. Comes out. It's like he's reading Hafiz's mind. As soon as he sees him getting excited, he just lets him go long. That's a beautiful return. Almost a scoop. Let's just say he almost scooped it.
If you smash from the back, you've got to run forward, because the return's going to be at the front of the court.
Yeah, he managed to skew it off to the right as well, so.
It's a fast way to run out of energy, is smashing from the back of the court, trying to chase down your own shot.
Now, he tried to play that drop shot from the baseline, which was possibly the riskiest thing I've seen Hafiz do yet, because yes, it did land on the other side of the net, but he just happened to be at the baseline, so I think we all knew that space, even for a big man like Hafiz, was not going to be covered. So, Hyunil, 8-7 now. 9-7. And so quickly, that chance of a 5-game match spins the other way. Oh, nice, very nice.
He was there, he was fast enough, but just too much quality in the return to.
Hyunil's net drops have been quite amazing. So match point. And it's out. Well, definitely, as you were saying, Donald, a case of Hafiz falling away in the last game. So Hyunil takes it 11-8. 3-1. Muar City on the way, exactly the same way as they did in the last tie. And let's look at some of this positioning from Hyunil. Puts it forward, draws him in, and then picks the other shot. Most people would have gone for the huge gaping space on the right side, but he knew that Hafiz was going to be heading that way. So then he flicks it down. And wrong foots the big man. 3-1. Muar City. And interview now with Lee Hyunil.
Now with a 3-1 win, as team manager, you think you have the momentum to go all the way?
I think Lee gave us a very good start, but all credits to Hafiz. He's very, very good. I wish Cheras all the best as well.
And you think you played a very good match today?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, cool. Congratulations. 3-1 winners. You have a significant lead over Cheras. Ladies and gentlemen, Muar City BC. Back to you in the commentary box.
So as we have a look at the highlights now, I'm not kidding with you. The match highlights, pretty much the whole match. Really, there was not very many shots in this match that were played badly.
Yeah, it was a really nice display of badminton. I just felt Hafiz seemed to just lose a bit of energy towards the end, and that's a little bit surprising. But he was being moved around quite effectively by Hyun, and maybe just the experience and the precision of Hyun was helping him out.
Well, it was getting better as the match progressed for certain. I mean, first he fixed, or he corrected that smash that was benefiting Hafiz so much. He corrected that first of all. Then there was the drop shots, and he kind of lifted his net game. Then after that, he actually took it a step further and started pushing Hafiz around. And before you know it, he was just clawing back 3-4 point gaps as you go. And yes, Hafiz always had that opportunity that he could take it. But in the end, the consistency of Lee Hyunil is what we see here. Now, I'm not used to seeing that amount of unforced errors from him. That could just be from the power of Hafiz's game coming towards him and, as you said, uncontrollable returns. But net winners, definitely. Smash winners, close enough. And he controlled the net as well.
It was a vicious battle at the net, which Hyun won. And I think that in the end, that has been the telling statistics between the two players. Also think it's quite interesting how much of the points went with the service.
Yeah.
And it just, again, at this level, the players are thinking 3 shots ahead. So service is a very important part of building up a point. And it maybe no surprise that in a lot of the games, both for Hafiz and for Hyun, a lot of the points went with the service.
Now this is going to be very interesting. I was talking actually today and of course last week about the wonderful depth of pool of players that Indonesia has, not just in doubles of course, but in women's singles as well. And we've got 2 of them on court, but before we get to them, we're going to hear from the managers after that exciting first match.
And we are courtside with the managers right now. We have Jason Wong, team manager of Muar City BC. You've gone back to playing with Rusidina because of the slight injury. Had Adrianti not been injured, would you have played her instead?
Of course, yes, because Adrianti will be a better choice, yeah. But I think we have faith in Rusi.
So hopefully she wins. Thank you so much, Jason Wong. And right now, let's have a chat with Rizal. Let's talk about Fabi's track record so far. She's played in all your ties. Is she playing as well as you hoped? And are you going to rest her at any point?
I think she had a bit of a problem on the first tie because, of course, the jitters of the first game. But she did fantastic on the second tie, and I think she'll do great today. But I can't really decide whether I'm going to rest her. It will be revealing the strategy, so I won't say anything now.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much to the managers, both managers. Right now, back to you in the commentary box.
Well, it's no surprise that You're going to keep some versatility and flexibility in your strategy when you've got these types of players on. So an all-Indonesian women's singles affair. Rustina Antadayu, 21 years old, ranked 144th in the world. One of many Indonesian women's singles players who play at that pace we were talking about. They play at the kind of technical, tactical badminton against the 77th ranked 23-year-old Febi Angguni, one of the leaders in that group. Of course, there's Khusus Mastuti as well, Bellatrix Manaputi. There's a whole load of women's players, singles, doubles. Lim Suching is the umpire for this, and Ian Spear is in the service judge chair. How do you see this going on?
Well, I can't give a prediction here. The players are obviously going to be very closely matched in terms of their ranking and, you know, the style of play. They're both coming from the Indonesian school, so you know this could be a grudge match. We don't know who will take the initiative. I think it's going to come down to who wants it more on the day and who wants to dominate this game.
Yeah,
I can see it going to 5 games again. Yeah,
exactly, or at least 4. And the thing is, you know, it would be interesting that most of these shots should be coming from the baseline, the mid-court. Even in the 2 ties, I've seen them already play. They haven't, in true Indonesian manner, I should say, specifically gone for net-based strategies. They much rather ping clears and lifts as they go. And even in the warm-up, as you can see, they're going for that heads-on. But you're right, it could be a grudge match. They have such a highly competitive atmosphere around them that produces these champions in so many categories in Indonesia that it could be any amount of things. But all we know is that Rustina is probably at some point in her career looked up to Febi. That's for certain. Febi definitely has been around for a couple of years longer, has been to a few more international tournaments, of course ranked 40 places above her, so big sister, little sister perhaps. Well, if they are going to keep their place at the top of the league and in style, then little sister has got to do the job. City in the red, Cheras in the black and yellow. Muar City already 3-1 up in the tie. You see the lifts already coming in from the net. And you can see that graceful elegance to the way both of them are playing. Now remember, Muar City have done the full 6 wins. I'm not going to try and hold them to do a better one than they did before. Just getting 18 games, really. It's good enough.
It's a nice push.
Now these errors will cost Rustina.
She snatched at that one. Led to the error.
Said just 2 years between them, but a lot of ranking points, a lot of ranking levels, I should say.
drive there from Musidina.
Well, I did think that Febby was probably going to wrest an advantage at some point. Just a little bit more accurate so far. There is that Indonesian style of not really pushing. If they do launch into a smash or a power attack, it's so obvious when compared to the rest of the flow of the game that they were playing. And it still gets results. Of course, let's put that in some perspective. They are very good women's singles players. Of course, they're not the best women's singles players. I think we can safely say that title and accolade belongs to China, who at one point had 6 women in the top 10, with the top 3, of course, untouched: Wang Yihan, Wang Qixian, and Wang Xin, who were at one point unstoppable. And of course, Li Juri came in, and before you know it, there's Olympic rulings to stop the rest from going. But the likes of Saina Nehwal and, of course, the Indonesian players as well have been the only players, and Tina Bon as well, have been the only players to actually challenge them in any respect.
Musidina reaching nicely for that shot. Gets the reward. Maybe couldn't get to the drop shot.
So 4